Okay. When I'm thinking about absolute value, if I say the absolute value of x is 2, how many numbers can I plug in for x? So let's say I have this, don't write this down. What numbers could I plug in right here to get an absolute value of positive 2? 2 and negative 2, right? If I plug in a 2, the absolute value of positive 2 is positive 2. If I plug in a negative 2, the absolute value of negative 2, Jose, is also positive 2. So how many answers do I have for x? 2 answers, right? 2 and a negative 2. So when you have an absolute value, you always have 2 answers. So circle this. I want you to remember this. You need to get 2 answers. It's not often going to be 2 and negative 2, or that some 10 and negative 10. Happens to be that on this, but not always. Okay? So if there's anything attached to our absolute value, we have to get it by itself on this side before we make our setup. You're always making 2 separate problems. Okay. Okay, so I have nothing but my absolute value on this side. So I'm okay to split it. I'm going to split it and make 2 equations. The first one, Brayden, do you need to go outside?
Yeah, he circled this.
Okay.
I think he has to.
The first equation, nothing inside the absolute value ever changes. Okay? So on the first equation, you're just taking the bars off. Jose, write this down, please.
I already got it. Oh, damn, that's a good number.
Anything inside of my absolute value never changes. So I have for my second side, x minus 18 now. What do you think happens to my 5, Donald?
I don't know what to add in the second one.
I'm going to show you. You write this, you write whatever's in the absolute value, you put that on both equations. Okay, the first one is exactly the same. What do you think happens to the 5?
Negative 5.
Yeah, negative 5. Now, when I work this down, when I work this one down, I am not going to get something like 10 and negative 10. Okay, what would I get here? What's 18 plus 5?
21.
No. How about 23? Okay. On this one, what's 18 and negative 5?
I don't know. I really don't know.
13.
Oh, 13.
Okay, so I have my 2 answers. They are not one positive and one negative. Questions so far?
Why would it be negative?
It goes back to that when I plugged in 2 numbers for my.
Can it be positive at a?
Can it be what?
At a relation at positive?
We have the positive right here. Is that
Oh,
what you meant? Yeah. Okay, so do I have only my absolute value here by itself? I've got this plus 2. I've got to get rid of that before I can split and make 2 parts. So go ahead and subtract 2. You guys, I can't. You got to be quiet or go outside. Jose, that's including you.
I know.
Okay. Now I have my absolute value isolated or by itself. Now I can split this and make my 2 equations. I don't have anything. There's no solving I'm going to have to do on this one. Okay? What are my 2 answers? What's my first one? 7. What's my second one? Negative 7. Now, if I want to graph this,
Maybe you can slide that graph back and separate. Grab it.
Whoa. Whoa.
The feature's here.
now because I have an equal sign, I'm not drawing arrows. I'm not including any other numbers. I'm including 2 numbers. What are my 2 numbers I'm going to graph?
7, negative 7.
7 and negative 7. So I put a dot on 7. On the skill test, we won't make you graph because it doesn't really make sense to graph when we don't have an inequality. You just have a dot on 7 and negative 7. Those are your only 2 solutions. Okay, can I split this one the way it is? Do I have only my absolute value? Yeah, it's just the bars on this side, so it's okay to split it. What is my first equation? Josh? Yeah, just take the bars off. X minus 2 equals 4. Okay? Somebody else, what's my second equation?
X minus 2 equals negative 4.
Good. X minus 2 stays the same. It equals now negative 4. Okay, how do I get x by itself here? By adding 2. Same thing over here. Add 2, add 2. Brayden, take a break. Take a break. Okay, stop. You're loud.
Sorry. I've just been called black.
I know, but it's inappropriate right now when I'm trying to teach.
Well, right now isn't the time to laugh.
Okay, on the graph, just put a dot on 6 and a dot on negative 2. Catch up, please. Okay, so they've helped us with an equation here. Starting from 100 feet away, your friend skates towards you and then passes you. She skates at a constant speed of 20 feet per second. Her distance d from you in feet after t seconds is given by the equation. So they want to know at what time. Okay, remember the d is standing for distance and the t is standing for time. And why do you think we put this in absolute value? Why do you think we put this in absolute value? If she's skating away from you, are you going to have a negative distance even if she's skating backwards? It's still a positive distance away, right? Okay, so let's put, let's plug in, our distance here. She's 40 feet away. They want to know how much time does that take. So we're going to put 40 right here. And we've still got 100 minus 20t in absolute value, sorry.
Oh, D is 40.
Yeah, they told us to put in 40 feet for D. Okay. Can I split this now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, or make them darker or something, that's fine. Okay, so let's split this. What's my first equation? And it's okay to change sides if that helps you.
Well, you could just like flip it around and then take.
What would it be?
Flip the equation and then take off the bracket for number 1.
Okay, 100 minus 20t equals 40. What's my second one?
Well, you can, I don't know.
What am I making negative?
100 minus 40 equals negative 40.
Good. I heard you, Raul. Okay? Okay so far? Yeah, Josh? Okay, go ahead. What? We don't want to add 20 because that has the T on it. What can we do with the 100?
Add 100.
Is it a positive 100 or a negative? Okay, so minus 100. Okay, now what?
Divide by 20.
Negative 20, yes. What's an easy way to do this if I drop off the zeros? What's 6 divided by 2? Anybody? Good, I heard it from someone. So T equals 3 seconds,
30.
right? Let's see what we get over here.
Subtract both sides and then
Yep.
it comes out to 104. Negative 104.
140.
140. Oh yeah, 140. And you divide by 20. It's
Questions? Make sure you have this on your paper. Keep phones away, please. Okay, so we have lots of things in this problem that are attached. Austin, sit down, please. We have lots of things attached to our absolute value that we have to get rid of on this problem before we can split it. We cannot split it right now as it is. Okay, so we're going to just do this as if we were solving. We're going to get rid of the 12, but we still have a 3. Anybody have an idea? A lot of people think we can distribute this into an absolute value. You cannot do that with absolute value. How else could we get rid of this 3 on the outside? Yeah, divide it. So we're just going to divide it off. Turn off the music. I'm going to write it over here so I have room to split it. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Turn off the music, please.
Right.
Is there any number that I can plug in to an absolute value that comes out negative?
Yeah. Yeah. We just gotta look for it.
Is absolute value ever negative?
Yeah.
I've got a negative right here. So I can't
That's what you
plug
use.
something into an absolute value.
Yeah, you can use it.
Absolute value means the distance from zero, right? Can't be negative. So in this case, when we end up with a negative on this side initially, unplug, because you can't handle it. Then in this case, we have no solution. And it's because of this negative right here.
Or you can take care of the negative. You can like scribble out the negative and it won't be there.
No. Okay, these are regular ones. So when I have an absolute value, or when I have absolute value and an inequality, when I change my 24 to negative, what do you think happens to my inequality? Yeah, good. So the first one again, I just take the bars off. Nothing changes. Okay? On the second one, again, whatever's in absolute value doesn't change. My inequality is going to flip, so I'm now less than, and 24 becomes negative 24. This is sort of working backwards from what we did when we taught you the and, when Mr. Round taught you and or on Tuesday. We're going to determine by our graph if this is an and or an or. So if I divide both sides by 8, n is greater than or equal to 3. Everybody with me?
Hold on. I just didn't finish my 8.
Okay.
Okay, what else? You too.
And then if I divide this side by 8, I get n is less than or equal to negative 3. Okay? So let's just, we want to be able to either say this is an and or an or. Brayden?
Or.
I did. So n is greater than 3. So which way is my arrow going on the 3? Right or left? Going to the right. It's pointing that way. Is it an open or a closed circle?
Closed.
Closed. Okay, so I'm going this way on here.
Closed for both of them.
And yes, closed on negative 3. And which way am I going?
Other way.
To the left.
Opposite way.
So can I have numbers greater than 3 and less than negative 3?
Yes.
Or does it have to be this or this? Think about it. You can't have a number greater than 3 and less than negative 3. So you need to write or in between these two things.
The bottom one is less than. That
Oh.
other problem there. Yeah.
This
I'm wondering
one?
if that's supposed to be less than. No, number 5 is
This one?
No, number 5 is one more.
Oh,
That one falls less than or equal to. It's an in between.
okay. Okay, is this one okay to split? Yep. Guys, be quiet still, please. Yes, please. Split the inequality and make one negative. What do we get for this one? Anybody? X is greater than or equal to 5. And less than or equal to 3. Are we open or closed circle on 3? It's got an equal sign, so we're closed. Left or right? And open or closed on 5? They're actually both going to be the same because we're not changing that when we flip it. So they'll either both be open or both be closed. And this one's pointing to the right. So this is also an OR. Please make sure you have this on your paper. You got it? Okay, last one. A company makes boxes of crackers that should weigh, last one please, should weigh 213 grams. A quality control inspector randomly selects boxes to weigh. Any box that varies from the weight by more than 5 grams is sent back. Anybody have an idea for this? We know we're going to have to use absolute value. Anybody have an idea? Okay, does anybody have an idea about this one? The boxes of crackers should weigh 213 grams. If it varies from that weight by more than 5 grams, then it gets sent back. Okay, so it cannot be more than 5 grams off, right?
Yeah.
So is that less than or equal to or greater than or equal to? Mr. Round, on this one they're asking for allowable weights. Never mind, I got it. So it's not a greater than or equal to.
Yeah, actually don't even need to write an inequality. No. Deviation from.
Because it would still be less than.
Alright.
Okay, go ahead and cross off the word problem, please, and write this one in its place. Jose, I need you to do this last one, please. And put this in place of it, please. So when we split this one, The first one's the same, take the bars off. On the second one, change the inequality and make it -5. And then what are we doing on both sides?
Add 32.
Yes.
Are we correcting this one?
Yes. -5 plus 32 is what? Well, 27. Oh, I thought you said 47. Yeah, 27 is right. Okay, make a little graph here. Make a little graph, just, it doesn't matter. Put 27 on and 37. I know it's closed circle on both. Which way is the arrow going for 37? Left or right? Left. And which way is it going for the 27? To the right. So is this an and or an or? Yes. Okay. Another way that we could write it is, listen please. We know that we can write and inequalities together. Connor? I put the low number on the left, the high number on the right, and my inequalities always point to the lower number. So they're going to both go this way. That's another way to write this. If we compare the two, did you notice that both of these were greater than? And how did they graph? Or devil horns, right? And this one was a less than, and how did it graph? Curl bar. Okay, so if that helps you to remember, less than is always going to graph this way, and greater than always graphs devil horns. Okay? Questions on any of these? Oh, that's so rude.
Sorry,